Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Jones from the HomeGrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine. And I just wanted to ask you, what would it be like for you to be an herbalist? What would it be like for you to be able to take plants that you've grown or collected yourselves and use them as medicine to solve your own health and wellness issues or to bless the people around you? What if you could even learn how to do that professionally if you wanted to and set up a practice as an herbalist? The HomeGrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine offers you the opportunity to really have a transformative experience and really become something wonderful that can really be a blessing to a lot of people. As a veterinarian, I have a lot of opportunities to practice as an herbalist in ways that most herbalists don't get to practice. And those experiences are reflected in the curriculum of the school. We treat rattlesnake bites and gunshot wounds and gangrene and sepsis and kidney failure and arthritis. I mean, we treat all kinds of things that a lot of herbalists don't have the opportunity to treat. The school can be completely completed online. I have students in Africa and Australia and Europe and Central America, all over the world, all over the United States, all over Canada. And you can complete the entire course online. If you're in the area or would like to be in the area, we have plant walks and we have workshops that are live events as well. Of course, we video those and those are available online too. We teach anatomy, we teach physiology, we teach disease processes, we teach how the herbs interact with the body and with the pathologies so that you understand what's really going on. There's no memorization of 20 things this plant can do. There's real learning of what is this plant's action on the tissues? What is it doing? And when you know that, when you understand that, you don't need to memorize a list of 20 things because you know what the plant's doing. And all by yourself, you'll be able to apply it to this and to that and to the other thing in all kinds of different scenarios that nobody can even anticipate. I'll give you an example. If you read about crampbark in a book, it'll say crampbark's good for, muscle spasms, and it's good for coughs, and it's good for diarrhea, and it's good for your preterm labor, right? Well, crampbark is a plant that relaxes smooth muscles, okay? It's a muscle relaxant, antispasmodic. So my daughter came over. I have 9 daughters, right? And some of them are great cooks. And some of them are still learning to be great cooks, right? And so one of the youngest girls had made this chicken something. And they were all eating it. And it was just horrific, dry. And one of the older daughters actually got some stuck in her throat and couldn't get it to move. And, she would drink water and it would come back up. And I mean, she was getting a little panicky. It had been half an hour. So I walked into the house and said, "What's going on?" And they told me, and I said, "You need some crampbark," right? Gave her a little crampbark tincture and squirted it in her, and immediately the chicken moved down her throat and she was done. Well, what was happening? Well, her esophagus was trying to move that dry old chicken and it couldn't move it. And so it was just squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter. And now it's not going to move at all, right? So I gave her something to make that muscle relax and be happy. Well, you're not going to read that in a book on a list, right? No one on their herb book list is going to say crampbark is good for getting chicken out of your esophagus. But because I understand crampbark and what it's really doing to the tissues, I was able to immediately apply it to that problem. You'll have that kind of skill and that kind of understanding. That's what we're after. And that's something that makes us unique. Like I say, the whole thing is available online. You can do it at your own pace. There's no time constraints of any kind. Just do it as life allows. Life is a journey, not a race. So we'll all get there eventually. You'll have lifetime access to the material. I'm constantly adding new material. There's about 50 core lessons, and they cover all the body systems. And then there's, specific disease modules. There's wound management modules. There's, principles of this and that and the other modules. There's modules on specific plants and individual plants. And there's all kinds of other additional resources. Really a lot of material, and you'll have access to that forever, like I said. People often ask 2 questions. First of all, how long will it take to finish it? And I would say for the 50 core modules, 6 months to a year, depending on how anxious you are to get it done. Take you an hour or so to do a module, and there's 50 core modules. So, if you did one a week, you'd be done in a year. The other question I ask is what kind of license or certification or what have you will I have when I'm done? And the answer to that is there's no such thing as a licensed herbalist. Okay, there's no state, at least in the United States. I don't know, some of you guys that live in other countries, I don't know how it is, but in the United States, there's no state that licenses herbalists. And so you can practice as an herbalist in most states as long as you follow certain rules, and we'll teach you all that too. We'll teach you how to be an herbalist and not get thrown in the hoosegow, and that's good to know. And what you will receive, which is all that really matters, is the knowledge to perform. You'll be able to do the things you need to do. People ask me if they'll be a master herbalist, and I don't even know what that means. I've been doing this for a couple of decades, and I don't feel like I've mastered anything. I learn something new every single time I talk to somebody about herbs. So that's the way we look at things. If you want to call yourself a master herbalist when you're done, that's great. Go ahead. The titles and the degrees and the things that are offered by everybody don't mean anything unless you learn the principles. And that's what we're about, is teaching you those principles so that you can be successful in blessing your own lives and blessing the lives of the people you love. I'm Dr. Patrick Jones. We would love to have you. We'd love to share that journey with you at the HomeGrown Herbalist School of Botanical Medicine. Let us know if we can help.